Welcome back, you guys. Another Joey's West Coast Adventures. Check this out. Hi.
Hi.
Are we still giving tours?
We are. Are you wanting a tour?
Yes.
Okay.
For
Today
the-
is a tour. Today you get if you do today, you get a tour of the house, and then if you do the 27th.
That I signed up for, yes.
Okay.
That I did. That
And
I
you
signed
paid
up
for
for.
those
now.
tickets?
Yeah, I paid for all that, yes.
Okay, and then today would be $10 per adult.
Yes, and so I have to go back online and do that then here? Or?
Oh no, I'll take your money
Okay.
away.
Okay, cool.
I'm really good at taking money. Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Kim?
Okay.
Kim, thank you for waking me up. And it's on video too.
Oh, you're gonna give a video tour?
Obviously,
Yeah.
he's got his video going and me screaming. Take a view
Yes.
of what's going on here.
Wow.
And then if you have any questions, I want you to ask me. My name is Tobin.
Tobin?
Tobin.
Oh, okay, nice to meet you, Tobin. My name is Joe.
Hi, Joe. And those two out there are the marketing director and the president of MEUX Home. And Kim just scared, Kim, the marketing director, is the one that scared me. I was just wrong. Okay. And then, Joe, I'll need you to sign in right there for me.
I sure will.
Okay, where's my little piece of paper? God, they leave me in charge. It's the first time I've been left in charge all by myself.
It was 10, right?
10.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you from Fresno?
Yes.
We got one. Have you been in Fresno all your life?
Yes.
Congratulations. In cash goes in the gray box. Okay, we got $10 cash. All right, that makes sense. Oh, here, let me take your money away from you. So what do you know about the MEUX home?
I'll probably know more about the paranormal stuff other than the,
Oh, so are you
I
a
know.
paranormal guy? One of our docents, she is part of a paranormal group. And
Okay.
and she goes around, just not in Fresno, but up and down the whole state.
oh, what's the name?
Kimmy's her first name. I don't know what her last name is.
I might have her number. I talked to a couple of people that have done that and like to go around and they do and
And they go in with
and they
people.
give me a lot of information, so they know a lot of different places. Besides the top 10 in Fresno, they know a lot of places, know a lot of people. So I keep kind of in contact to say, what else is out there, you guys? What
Yeah.
else is out there?
Yeah, definitely. Get into Old Fig Garden and into that neighborhood. That's really kind of.
In 1888, this was actually.
And okay, so I'll give you a brief history of the family, and then we can
Okay.
just talk about everything else.
Okay.
How's that? We'll just
That'd
do a
be great.
talking.
Yes.
We'll just do a talking tour. Okay, so the family is originally from Tennessee.
Tennessee, okay.
Tennessee. So he grew up, and then Dr. MEUX grew up back there. I think he had like 6 or 7 brothers and sisters. They lived on a plantation. The war broke out. He went and worked. He got drafted and ended up on the Confederacy side. They found out he was a doctor, so he ended up doing medical surgery on the Confederate soldiers. And because he took the Hippocratic Oath, he ended up doctoring both sides of the war, the Union and the Confederacy. Anyway, we'll fast forward. He got his doctorate degree in 9 months, and he met Molly. Molly was the daughter of one of his commanders. She was 18, he was 37, and they got married. Okay, and then he had a brother. His name was Joseph. And Joseph was out here on the West Coast, primarily in San Francisco. He was hanging out and being an attorney. Well, Joseph knew that Molly had tuberculosis, and living in Tennessee doesn't do really well for your tuberculosis. So he calls up his brother, one ringy dingy, two ringy dingy, three ringy dingy. Of course, Alexander Graham Bell's invention isn't invented yet, but anyway, he gets the telegram, and they come to California, probably on the Transcontinental Railroad, since that would be the easiest form of travel during that time.
1870.
1888.
88, yeah, okay.
Okay, the
I did
trans-
history on Fresno too, and
Okay.
with the trains and the tunnels with the Chinatown and all
Yeah.
that. And I was trying to compare the two because I started with the courthouse up at Frying Dam when that was,
Okay.
the first courthouse. So when they migrated and moved down here, it goes, no, but everybody was here. So I started doing the history when the railroads came in. Wow, so it was like 20 years before that. Then, okay, I get it now. So I started doing it with your history, what that part of it was, and so on. It's interesting. And like
Yeah.
I said, I lived all my life and some of the stuff I never knew.
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
The dock came out in 1885.
1885?
1885.
Scouted.
Okay,
There you go.
okay. 1885. So he was out here scouting. They found this piece of land way out here in the middle of nowhere because downtown Fresno is
Right,
way over. It's
right.
not that far, but
Yeah.
for that time period, it was over there on the other side of the railroad tracks, closer to Tulare, to
Fulton and Tulare.
yeah, Fulton,
Fulton,
Tulare.
yes.
Okay, so he ended up buying these plots of lands here. There was absolutely nothing out there.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, so moved the family out here in about 1887, and they moved into the Sequoia Hotel in downtown Fresno over at Fulton and Tulare, and they stayed there for a year. He contracted to have this place built. This place is all machine milled, so all of the craft work that you see is done by machine. He's very much a progressive during this time period, and we're also in the throes of the Industrial Revolution. So he is totally a progressive on the whole Industrial Revolution and all that other stuff.
Okay, wow.
So when the house was built, it's all built out of redwood because termites don't like redwood, so we're still sitting on the original wood. Okay, we have a gasolier right here. This is gas and electric, but we didn't have electricity yet here. So, but the doctor, being progressive and thinking ahead, thinks, wow, maybe we'll put in both, and when electricity finally comes to this area, we can have electric light and shut off the gas for our gas for being lit by that.
So, question:
Go ahead.
Is that gas or electricity, or is that one of those little lights that?
That's
just
one of
flicker?
the lights that's lit.
These
Okay,
are
gotcha.
The faux lights that
The
give you
faux.
the flame look.
Yeah, no, my
They
wife
actually-
has some, and I'm looking at it, and I can't see the inside, and I'm like a rehab. But then I was starting to think, it looks so real though. I thought I was waiting for
Joe, this is Quentin.
Hi
Quentin,
there,
this is
I'm the
Joe.
president of the MEUX Hall.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, he's got tickets for the morning tour already.
Oh, fantastic.
Watch the night tour.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah. It's a morning.
Oh.
It's a period of mourning.
Morning.
M-O-U-R.
Oh, the morning.
Yeah,
Oh, I got you.
yeah,
Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That's all
I
right.
got you.
Doc actually had all the electrical, plumbing, and gas lines run into the home. It cost an additional $5.79 for that kit to be added. And he had that done, lived without being able to use them for about 8 years because none of that technology had made it this far out yet.
Oh, I got you.
So that's why they have a kerosene tank out back because that's the only way you could light your house
Yes.
at night.
So until then, they're using carrots
This
before
was
they got
just
electricity.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
definitely.
thing with the bathrooms. When you see the bathrooms in the home, they weren't able to use them for eight, almost 9 years.
Years.
Wow.
Yeah. So the house was built forward, but getting built
It
forward.
was built like with the technology that
you-
really wasn't here yet. It was
right,
here,
or
but
the
not.
infrastructure
yeah.
wasn't here
Yeah.
yet.
In the newspaper that was published when Doc started building this home, it was the largest, most high-tech home in Fresno.
There you go. Wow.
Is this the oldest Victorian house in Fresno?
It is currently,
So you are
of its size and
Okay.
scale.
right, because this is the
Okay.
There used to be lots of them. Unfortunately, most of them met the wrecking ball in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
So now, what has it been used for since?
It's either been the daughter's home. It was her home until 1970. Then when she passed away,
Okay.
it sat vacant for a few years. The family liquidated the contents, sold at an estate sale, and then it was put up for sale It didn't sell for the first 3.5 years, and then the city of Fresno bought it. So it went directly from the family to a museum.
Wow, it's crazy. I would think so many people would want to buy this place.
Yeah.
It was pretty run down.
Yeah.
It was bad.
No, I've seen it. Yeah, I like I said, I lived here all my life. I grew up in the '60s and '70s and the '80s, but so I've always been through here, and I've always I always wanted to come in this place. I never was able to. It's like,
Yeah,
when
it was-
I wanted to, I couldn't.
It was meant to be the centennial gift to Fresno from the mayor in 1975. Unfortunately, It didn't open fast enough. We opened 3 years late because it just took a little more time and revenue to get it to the state that you see it. The city paid
Okay.
$50,000 for it. They put in $370,000
For the restoration
for
and
the
all.
restoration and to make sure that the structure was stable.
So then, where does all this stuff actually belong to? It didn't belong to the family, whatever.
Some
they just
pieces do.
hoarded it.
Most of it belongs to the MEUX Home Corporation.
Oh, okay.
We are a completely non-profit corporation. The whole entire house is volunteer run and operated. There isn't a single person here that takes pay.
Oh, cool.
It's our way of giving back to the community of Fresno.
That's good. Appreciate that, you guys. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You made me feel bad. I only gave you $10 for having come
That's
on.
okay.
That's all right.
Go ahead.
You'll be coming to the next night. The piano was Dr. and Mrs. MEUX piano. The light fixtures are original to the home. Some of them, the front parlor and back parlor have been replaced when Anne was making some minor updates. There are a few furniture pieces in the home that were given back by the family.
So these were basically the originals then from the
These were
home.
the originals. We don't know if they had crystals originally. They most likely would have. They
Okay.
didn't by the time the museum came about. The crystals that are actually on these light fixtures are off of the original chandeliers that were in the Gottschalk's department store downtown.
Yeah, I remember got chalked and pan everything down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these were on those big, huge chandeliers
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
had the big round globes.
Uh-huh.
With the,
Okay. Yeah.
That's where those crystals came from.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So another little tie to Fresno's past.
Uh-huh.
This dress is typical of what ladies would have wore when receiving guests or going and seeing a neighbor to visit. That was a visiting dress. They had many different stages of clothing that they had to wear, but that was only if you were a lady of means.
Which means
It meant you had a little more money.
okay.
Because
You were-
most women had maybe 2-3 outfits, that's it. And they would just mix and match blouses and skirts.
Oh okay.
And shawls
Yeah.
and things like that. Yeah.
If you had more money, you were able to afford multiple outfits for different purposes.
It's crazy. Everything revolves around money in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you take back over, Toby.
Okay.
Okay,
Well-
great. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Mhm.
that. Thank you.
Okay. So you would come in. This would be the foyer. As you walk in, you would probably have a calling card in your little hand, and you would come in and you would hand it to the hired help, and they would take your little calling card, they put it on a little silver tray and walk it up to Mrs. MEUX, and Mrs. MEUX would look at your name and decide whether or not she wants to see you that day.
Okay. Wow.
Now,
Are
if she
you-
wants to see you that day, comes back downstairs. There's a lot of etiquette to this little calling card. So you can go home and do the
Okay.
all the research on it. So you put it down, and let's say she does have it up, and you get to see Mrs. MEUX that day. So you would be seated in the front parlor, and you would hang out with Mrs. MEUX for about 20 minutes, as long as your visit will last. Now, if Mrs. MEUX didn't want to see you ever again in her whole entire life, this little calling card would come back on the little silver platter upside down, and you would be handed your calling card back and told never to grace the presence of the front porch ever again.
Wow.
You have been shunned from society.
Now, what was the purpose for the visit? What was she doing?
Socializing.
That's it. This is talk to her.
Yeah, socializing.
Yeah, I know most people would want to talk to you. You know what? Yeah, if you have money, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk to you. So I get it.
Okay, so all
This is
of
original?
yes, there's a couple of them that got hit. Maybe like this one over here. They've had to replace it, but for the most part, that's the door is all original. And then if you take a look at the hardware on the doors and on the hinges, you will see that these are all handcrafted. And if you get into some of the older homes around Fresno or anywhere else,
Yeah, like the
you
one-
will see whether or not they have money or not. This is just another sign
Okay.
of wealth. Okay.
Well, okay, well, I don't know. You say that because I grew up and I thought I lived in some of those homes. We weren't wealthy, but I remember those kind of lock. It's just, yeah, it's a similar same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the keys and all that. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
You're having flashbacks. I'm old.
Okay. So
That's
also
cool.
too,
All right.
yeah. So
And the bell, I guess that's for the,
yeah.
that's the bell for the outside, right? When it rings.
That's a trolley. That's a
Ah.
trolley bell. That came off with because the trolley used to go up and down the streets here,
Uh-huh.
and Dr. Muks' kid used to play on the trolley. So he decided to get a trolley bell and put it right there. And if you pull on the trolley bell, it will ring throughout the whole house. So you will
wow.
hear it upstairs, downstairs, and in the back of the house.
Cool.
Okay.
That's wow.
So another sign of wealth. Have you ever watched The Gilded Age? It's on Max, HBO Max. If you haven't, I highly recommend. If you've got HBO Max, I highly recommend you watch it. The Gilded Age.
Gilded Age.
It is absolutely fabulous. Second season's coming out on the 29th. Okay, so anyway,
Okay,
it
nice.
really shows what it looks like on the East Coast of how they were during this time period, because this is the Victorian age. Here in America, we called it the Gilded Age. It's gold. Everything's lined in gold.
Right, okay.
Okay, so another sign of wealth would be the puddling of the draperies on the floor. You had extra money, so you could afford to puddle your draped textiles onto the floor.
I get you.
Okay, and that's really kind of come back. I wouldn't do it because, yeah, the cat, no, and then you got to vacuum around it. So you're going to see a lot of draperies, a lot of textiles, lots and lots of wallpaper, lots of patterns on the floor, carpet. That's just another sign of wealth.
How old is this wallpaper? I know
This has probably been replaced, but it's a close.
to similar to what was there before.
Mhm.
I got you.
Okay, and the wallpaper, because you were Victorian during this time period, the wallpaper really represents the outdoors. And the Victorians and the Gilded Age were really all about bringing the outdoors indoors. And you're going to see that with the taxidermy and other outdoor activities throughout the house.
So then what was the purpose
We're
for
going-
that?
Oh, did
Oh,
you
I'm
catch
sorry.
the mayor?
What happened?
Somebody died. So you covered the mirrors.
Oh, I didn't even notice that I didn't even know it was a mirror.
Yeah. So this is part of your morning. So you're going to see the morning tour. You're going to see it in daylight hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody's died. So
Uh-huh.
you cover all your mirrors and your portraits. Okay.
Okay.
Because you're not supposed to see yourself because you're mourning the loss of your dear departed loved one. So let's step into the parlor.
That's why everything's got covered up. Okay, I got you. Wow.
Okay. So if your calling card was accepted by Mrs. Muks, you would be seated here. You would have some tea, maybe some crumpets, long enough to stuff your little face and leave within about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's just about as long as because there's particular days that are known as calling days,
Mm-hmm.
and they would come and you would be accepting visitors and things like that.
So did they actually were doing this here in this home at one time? Or
Yeah.
just was just showing what they used to do?
Yes. Now, I don't know exactly. We don't know exactly what the Mukses did. So, it's kind of more of what their etiquette was back during that time period. Is what I can give you the story of.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so this is where you would sit. The ladies would sit in the broader chair because, as you can see right there, you got the hat pin sticking out. That is to train them to sit up straight. But then again, you've got a corset on, and the ideal waist was anywhere from 17 to 24 inches. And the average corset at this time period weighed anywhere from 15 to 30 pounds. They were either made out of whale bones or metal staves. Yeah. Well, when World War II happened,
Yeah.
the women turned in their corsets, and they were able to build 2 battleships out of all the women's corsets during World War I.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how much metal they were able to recycle and build. So she would sit here. Would be her chair. that tapestry right next to her would be put in front of the fire so the heat wouldn't melt her makeup, because most of the makeup during this time period is made out of wax and it has a tendency to run. As you can see over here and over here, the portraits are covered also in black because they are in mourning also.
And they're only covered for the period of this, and then once it's done, then everything comes off. And,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, and we'll get.
Okay.
I'll get into more of this with you.
Okay.
This is very formal dress. This is probably what the women of means. Once again, she would be wearing this probably for the first 3 to 6 months. This would be her attire. She would not socialize during this time period, and she would be very formal. Take a look at that too. That is made out of human hair. And usually it's the mistress of the house is going to make this. You brush your hair, you save the hair, and then you can interwind it and make a nice wreath, and you can wear this around your neck. You can wear the hairpin in your hair, however you choose to do so.
Wow.
Yeah, it's another way to honor your dead loved ones or the beloved. So this is the mourning couch. Here, this was usually upstairs, but this is your mourning couch. If you die, or when you die, that dear old Joseph is in here. Let me see, is it heavy enough? Can I lift it? And here's Joseph. He's hanging out.
Oh, wow.
This is before embalming, okay? So this is all before embalming.
Why was his eyes open? I just saw it right now. I go, okay, why is his eyes open?
Yeah. Just checking you out is what he's doing.
Wow.
So before embalming, if you die in the spring or in the summer, what they do is they put flowers over the top of your casket. Okay, that helps hide the smell. And then a family member would sit with you for the next 72 hours, just in case you decide to wake up. So there would be somebody there
Now,
with
who
you.
was doing all this? And I say that because, you know, I know the Asians, I know the along with the Apache Nation, how we do it, the Mexicans and the Caucasian, their funeral types and services. And mainly the Asians really do it the longest that I know of, because they'll go for days and days and days.
Right.
And so hearing this, who's doing all this, and why is it? Why?
It's the
what's
families
story?
doing
The family
that.
doing it for some,
Yeah.
So what nationality were they coming from, or were they
They were, I don't know what the
representing
national,
or thinking?
they were
know-
Methodist.
Methodist, okay.
Okay, so they were Methodist. Yeah, they were Methodist. So yeah, this is part
So
of
they
their religion, or however they chose to do it. And remember,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
yeah, and remember, we're talking about the upper class.
Yeah.
The
And
lower
they
classes, they can't afford to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, you get lucky if you get a pine box. Okay, so he's here. The summertime or the wintertime, they because they want to get you out of here because you start to reek after a while because embalming isn't invented. So
okay.
okay, so in the wintertime they usually cover the casket in wheat, the staff of life, because you're not going to smell as quickly because it's colder. So they'll still have you there for 72 hours.
And were they still living? Were actually living here at the time they were doing this?
Oh,
or?
yeah. If somebody died, yeah, you were still.
And they were still. This was their home, basically. It's not
Right.
like not their business or the business and their home together. I guess.
Right. Yeah, this is your home. This is the home.
Yeah.
Yeah. They never. Yeah, this is the home. There was nothing out here. So
Yeah.
okay, so there was absolutely nothing out here, and this was all dirt roads out here. So there was nothing that way, or either direction.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Like I was talking to you about how they like to have the inside or the outside brought inside. As you can see, we've got Mary and Happy, the peacocks. These were also donated to the museum, but that wouldn't be unusual to find in an upper class home, is the taxidermy. And if you've ever watched any of the old westerns or anything else, you also see the moose heads, the deer heads, and all that other
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Okay. That piano back there is known as a square piano. It's not like a baby grand where it's kind of rounded back there, but it is a square piano. It did come from the Barton Opera House here in Fresno before they tore it down. After they tore it down, they found it in storage, and they asked if the MEUX home wanted it, and so we took it. But that actually came from the Barton Opera House. Wow. Yeah, and that's a gorgeous piece of instrumentation there. Okay, so we went from really formal mourning to not so much formal mourning. Okay, if you're of the upper class women, you're in mourning for 3 years. 3 years. The man was in mourning, the gentleman was in mourning anywhere between 3 and 6 months.
Wow.
Especially if they had children, because he needed to remarry as quickly as possible to take care of the children. Okay? Now she, on the other hand, because she is of means and she couldn't take, she now became custody of her brothers or her father. So she will be relying on the male, on the patriarchy of her family to take care of her and her children.
Oh, okay.
So she spends 3 years in mourning.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. This picture up here is of Dr. MEUX's mommy. I wouldn't want to piss her off on a bad day.
Okay. And why would that be?
Because her picture she's not smiling. But then again, you didn't smile a lot in portraits back in the day either. So smiling in portraits weren't the thing.
That's where she'd want to get her picture taken.
Well, portraits, okay, because you can't see the portraits. As you can see here, there's portraits done, but I think these are the only portraits in the house. And because Dr. MEUX was a progressive, and Eastman Kodak, the camera becomes popular. And they make it most popular when they get it into a smaller box instead of having the big thing with the drape and it comes all the way around your head. Once they got into the part where they became about this small, they became portable, and then people were able to take more pictures.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions about this room?
No, this is really cool. I just look at it, because every time you look around it, you see something new. And I was actually, the crystals are the same one. I'm thinking to myself, are those crystals all the same from the one from the chandelier from downtown, he said?
I don't know what these are or not. He knows more than I do, but I don't know. We'll have to ask him if he shows back up.
Yeah, because they look similar to all the ones that are hanging from over
Yeah,
there. And then I
those
saw those over there too on that.
Yeah.
A little different.
Those are square. These are more of an octagon shape and things like that. So I don't know. Oh, if you take a look at the fretwork, I forgot to point that out. Take a look at the fretwork right above the door, right below the door jamb. That's all machine made.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Okay. And then, and that's a whole huge pocket door right there. So, and all the molding going around the doors and the crown molding coming around the top are all machine done.
Wow.
Yeah. And during COVID, Quentin had nothing else better to do, so he did the stenciling up on the ceilings.
Nice.
Yeah.
It came out really nice.
Yeah. This is the family, we would call it the family room, but this is the family parlor. The children wouldn't be up in the front parlor. That is for formal. So this would be where the family would gather and play games in the evening. And as you can see, we have more taxidermy. You got the goats, because there was a goat farm down the road. You got your deer. You have your coal-burning fireplace. Once again, you have the tapestry shield to protect the woman from having her stuff melted. And as you can see, we got parcheesi, checkers, dominoes, stereoscope. So there's a lot of things going on. Since they were Methodists, I think they were probably teetotalers, not into drinking.
How many kids did they have?
They had 3.
Okay.
let me see if I can get the order right. Mary's the oldest, 12. John was 8. And Anne was 4 when they made an appearance in this house. They came in about 1888.
Wow, okay.
This piece of furniture here is absolutely fabulous. That is a break front of sorts, and that comes from the Sequoia Hotel in beautiful downtown Fresno. So that got donated to us, and then all the books in there are original to Dr. Muks.
Wow. Yeah, I've been wanting to get down and more downtown Fresno some more. When I was in the Warner's Theater, we went down, and they had a lot of old stuff in there. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, you guys. Why, do something with it. Just sitting there, some really old antique stuff like this.
You know, you might want to see if you can get into the Crest Theater.
You know what? I was trying to, and I was, yeah, you know what? I would have reservations to get in there already too, and something happened, I forgot. But I did want to get in there because they told me about that when I was doing the Warner's Theater.
Yeah.
Because they gave me a whole tour down underneath in the base, in the tunnel and stuff down there. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
But they got so much stuff like this that just stored down there.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the family would gather here. That is Dr. Muks's office. He really didn't see patients there unless you were a really good friend, because his office was at 1930 Mariposa Street, and this would be more of his farm office to do all his paperwork, because he owns a lot of farmland around here.
I
But
bet.
this is what a doctor's office might look like, or this is some of the instruments in which they would apply themselves on humans. Because Dr. Muks it only took Dr. Muks 9 months to get his medical degree.
Wow. That's so cool. Okay.
Piano, they would play the piano. Once again, you all covered up for mourning. You got that going on. You have your spittoon. Once again, this would be something a lady would wear out for socializing. Another piece of hair art right there. That could be a brooch that you could wear.
Wow, I've been out in that of hair.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy. Now, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone in 1872. So it didn't make it out it made it out here, but they probably didn't get service until about electricity came.
They would have nobody to call.
Well, true. Well, they were party lines back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
yeah,
you know what a
yeah,
party line
yeah,
is?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a great place to find out gossip from your neighbors if you're really quiet. So anyway, and this is the Fresno directory from about 1928. So you just call up and they'll connect you. Another chandelier right here. More fretwork up here. This is all machine made.
And this is original to the home, right? Or this was when they renovated it?
No, this one's original to the home.
Okay.
And we kind of think there was another one, probably right about, I don't know, it wouldn't have been there. But there was another one. But a painter the painter knocked this one down. They were able to put it back together again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, broke it all to pieces. And then one of the volunteers' husband likes to do puzzles, so he put it all back together again.
Cool.
Yeah. You got pocket doors here, and then you have pocket doors here. This is something this is really formally done. So who knows how the family was eating during this time period. Oyster plate, bread plate, chicken bones, bread plate, butter. These are all used for different foods. So this would be like your shrimp and your oysters. Only oysters can be served on this. Your butter knife, this would be your spoon for your coffee or something. Okay, and then here's all the glassware of what it would look like if you were doing a formal setting. The children probably did not eat in here until they knew how to properly sit down at this table. So they had to have all the social etiquette. So it was after probably the age of 8 or 9. And remember, when you came downstairs, you had to be fully clothed. You didn't show up with sweats on.
You're dressed like you're going out somewhere. Yes.
Exactly. So you were really dressed the part. So this is for a formal dinner. You can see the banquet over there. You have your fish plates up over here. That they were only designed to serve fish. If we come over this way, this is a crumb collector. So if you were a sloppy eater, they would come by and scrape up the crumbs onto this and throw it into the trash because
Wow.
because wash was only done once a week, and so you wanted to keep this as pristine as possible. This is your pickle jar. Only pickles go in it. This here is asparagus. Over here we have a mayonnaise dish, and that only served mayonnaise. And then you have your breads and your different condiments right here. They probably had breakfast here. Dr. MEUX and Molly probably had breakfast here. A little less formal is right there. Molly's favorite color is pink. So hence, and this wallpaper is as close as they could get to what the original wallpaper looked like.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then once again, this is another gasolier. You had the gas up top, the electricity down here, and I bet these the same crystals that came from Goss trucks, because they look like the ones in the
Oh, okay,
foyer.
yeah, okay,
you see
okay,
them?
yeah.
So we're going more into winter time here and here.
Okay. Wow.
Any questions?
No, but I will have some right now. Yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah,
ask me.
yes, okay.
Whenever you
yes.
got one, just ask me. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
This would be the butler's pantry. So this is where you would store all your excess china, your silver, and those sort of things. They did not have a butler, but in a lot of the homes back east, they did have butler pantries, and the butler usually slept in the butler's pantry to make sure that nobody stole the fine china and the silver.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Pictures. Now, do they have pictures of this place? What it actually looked like?
on the inside,
And the inside, yes.
I don't know. But if we find Quentin.
Oh, you have a basement.
Yeah, it's huge. It's the whole house. Hey, Quentin. He's not down there. He might be outside. Did I hear him?
I think
Yes.
Hey, is there original Is there original pictures from what the house looked like
On the inside or outside?
inside?
No,
Okay, that's what I thought.
sadly. There's a few real estate photos, but they don't really show anything.
Okay.
You would have some from the outside, probably,
There's some from the
from the
outside.
outside. I would think. You know.
They're
Wow.
pretty bad looking
Okay.
from the outside.
No, I say that because you know what's funny about downtown? They have so many old pictures of when there's really nothing here, and I was wondering if any of this house was in any of their pictures that they have over there
I don't
stored
believe so.
down there.
Not to our knowledge, because I've already checked with
Oh, have you?
Val over at the Fresno Historical Society.
Oh,
They
okay.
don't have any of this house. They have like 2 from the outside, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
That's sad.
Well, I'll keep my eye open
I
though,
think
because when I
that's
go down
probably-
there and I see those pictures, I'll keep my eye open for this one here if I
think
see
it's
it.
probably because the family owned the home for so long that people just didn't get inside.
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
you're not going to invite strangers into their homes.
Yeah, you need that
Yeah,
card.
we're
Oh,
Just
oh
Okay, thank
trust
you.
me, I know how to do that.
Wow.
Icebox.
Yeah.
Hey,
this
is the air conditioning on?
Yeah.
Okay. Icebox. So, the Iceman is going to come by in his little wagon with his ice. You would use this right here to tell them whether or not you want 100 pounds, 75 pounds, 25 pounds, or 50. He would bring it up with his little tongs over here. He would deposit it over here on this side, and it's not letting me open it. And you would put your groceries for the day.
And it's a block of hot ice or something, isn't it? Or is it regular ice?
It's regular ice. It's just
So
a
it'll
block.
melt down to the bottom one.
No,
Or what would it
no. And so when it would melt, Dr. MEUX got a little fancy and drilled a hole through it all the way down, and it ended up in the basement. They collected the water and used it for the wash.
That's why he had the money. He was smart. He knew it was good.
Yeah. So here's your ice tongs here. Here's what the Fresno Ice Company looked like during that time period.
So cool.
Yeah. Once again we have the mirror covered up. This is a handy dandy washing machine. Okay, so you're going to put your stuff in here. There you go. Hose it down so it doesn't fly back and hit you, and then you go woo, 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 and then it will agitate the clothes. You take them out, run them through the wringer, and then you hang them outside.
Just like we do today.
Exactly.
That's cool.
I'll turn it down a little bit.
Okay, thank you. This is the kitchen. So take a look at the kitchen. I'm gonna get out of these shoes. They're hurting me.
You don't like this kitchen?
No, I don't like my shoes.
Oh.
I'm gonna change it real quick. Okay, so this is the kitchen. This is what it would look like. So it is separate from the regular part of the house, as you can see. So if a fire was to break out, they would close those doors. You would grab this fire extinguisher right here, and you would throw it on the fire. You would run out, close the door, because what it does is it sucks up all the oxygen in the air and tries to snuff out the fire. So that would be your pantry over there. This would, the stove. Here, as you can see, this is a drain board.
I was looking at it. Why was it down like that? Okay, I see so it drained into the sink.
Yeah, because once upon a time ago, we called counters drain boards.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the reason, because all the water would drain right into here. So this is also a good workspace.
Oh, that's so cool.
Running in cold hot water, but it's going to take 8 to 10 years to get out here. But they were plumbed for both. You had another workstation right here, your bench. The kids would eat in here until, as you can see here, until they learn the proper etiquette to make it up to the big people's room.
Okay, I got
This is, you know what a Susie homemaker is?
Yeah.
Oven and all that other stuff. This is the Susie homemaker of the day. Okay, this thing all collapses up, so you don't see any of it. And when she wants to cook, she opens it all up, and there is all her accoutrements to be cooking.
I used to see all this kind of stuff. We used to have
Yeah.
one of these.
Mhm.
I'm like, wow, not one of those, but
Yeah, apple core. You got your wax paper over here, aluminum foil. This here, you could even put your recipes up over here. This is where your flour goes, because you're going to sift it over here. Sugar goes in here. You have your agitator for your washing. You can see the different irons for the different types of clothing. We got your Clorox. You got the cat who's going to chase the mice, hopefully. My cat doesn't, he just looks at them. So yeah.
You all set, you ready to go?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Okay, so if the fire happened, you close up all those doors, you close these doors, and you hopefully only contain it to this part of the house.
Yeah, when we give I was talking about the Warners, they have a fire door down underneath the thing. Same thing, the doors will close, but they're basically big steel doors. And you have to go, wow, yeah, the fire doors, close everything down in case there's a fire, so that way it does like what you said, it consumes it.
Yeah,
No
that's what they
oxygen.
hope. Now, Joseph MEUX will come and stay here occasionally, and he would use this entrance. He would use this sink here if he so desired to wash up and clean himself up here. If they had day help, they would use this also. This would be his bathroom if he so desired. And remember,
Wow.
Wash was done once a week. So you did wash like on Monday, you dried on, ironing day was on Tuesday, and Saturday was bath night.
Another thing that I noticed, all these places downtown in here, all your walkway stairways are like this, narrow.
Well,
Even-
when we come down the grand staircase, it's wider.
It's
This
wider.
is for the hired help.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Okay.
Wow.
So, Joe, you're going up the
Okay.
stairs. Don't fall down. And the stairs are really narrow.
Yes.
So he'd come up here and, he'd be back, this would be his part of the house. These are just buttons from the time period, just to give you an idea of what they look like. And take a right.
Right.
Right, this is Joseph's room. Here. And Joseph was a confirmed bachelor.
Oh, is he?
Huh?
Joseph was.
A confirmed bachelor. So, this would be his room. As you can see, they move things around on me.
Now, how long did he live in here? At what time period?
From when the house was built till whenever he died.
Okay.
He lived in San Francisco, but he would come back to Fresno on occasion.
Wow.
Yeah, and you've got the great outdoors on the indoors, the grandfather clock. He did have his own stove to keep himself warm. We have his law degree over here. Oh, they changed things around. His
See,
law
now,
degree-
I asked this question before.
Yeah,
How
go
much?
ahead.
How much of this stuff actually was here?
I bet that was the. I bet that's
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm thinking like all this stuff. I mean, you can replace. I mean, add new stuff, but this way had to be here already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. This is so cool.
Isn't it? Yeah. And he got his law degree from the University of Virginia. So we'll go this way. This would be the hired helps room here.
Oh wow, this is a little one.
Uh-huh.
Like
Well,
a
most of
sewing room.
Yeah. Well, most people, the beds are really short. I don't think the people were that short, but a lot of them slept kind of tilted upwards, so they didn't need a really long bed. We're going that way.
Oh, are we?
soon. Yeah.
Oh, okay, this goes to another. Oh wow.
It goes
okay.
to the sunroom.
Like a little kid's room.
Is that a new picture? Oh, is that dog? Okay. Is that it in his uniform? Okay. This is the bathroom. You got a bath once a week. So, they bring up the water. Okay, because that's the way to do it. Up in pails. And you probably want to call first dibs on the bath because they're not going to change the water.
Okay, I got you.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if you're the last one in, you're sitting in everybody else's dirty water. So that's where you've got don't throw baby out with the bath water saying. So that's your bathrooms. Yeah, that's just
Cigar place. And
Yeah.
smoke the good cigars.
and this is part.
Let me guess, out of hair also, right?
Uh-huh.
Let me guess, out of hair. They did a lot of things out of hair.
Yeah, because they're gonna save their
Yes.
hair.
Wow.
What do you say?
So that's the surgeon's coat.
Okay. Okay.
But
Got it.
anyway,
Mm-hmm. So the morning wall used to be here, but now, but it's all been pulled apart and it's all spread out through the house. So we're back to the morning dress here. You can see that what I was talking about earlier with all the flowers. That would be spring
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
summer because you're not gonna have
Wow.
flowers in the winter. unless of course you have a greenhouse in the back. That's your staff of life that would go on top of a coffin. This is mourning jewelry for the widow. Oh, we didn't cover that one. Oh, the mirror's covered.
I think it's right here.
Yeah. You have a more, okay, so if you were the female, this would be your mirror. Okay, so when you are doing your hair, brushing your hair, this is the mirror you would use. So you have all that there.
Wow.
Oh, I wonder if are these from the ghost jobs too? The crystals?
I think so.
Yeah, because those look like the same ones up
Yeah.
downstairs.
Place.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. How many bedrooms total?
One, now you're gonna make me count.
Okay.
Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. In the maid's quarters. 5.5. Yeah. So this would have been John's room.
They all got fireplaces. They all got
They all have
sinks, they
fireplaces, yeah. And then they have transom windows, so the windows above the doors would open up so during the summer you could get some cool air coming through the house because remember we don't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
And then this would be your sunroom. Some people call it a bird room or the bird's nest. Dr. Muks got smart, put some screens on it, and if it was really too hot, the family would come out here and sleep. So, and
Now, where do you guys get all your history from?
they have a little history book, and then I'm a historian
Oh, really?
by trade.
So you do all your research and figure out who's who and who did what.
Yeah, and and I've done a lot of studying of this period in my stuff.
Do you ever find anybody that's still alive that knows actual people?
The great granddaughter still lives. She lives in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh, there you're talking about the
Yeah,
there you go.
and she's bringing down more artifacts
Oh, really?
and gonna donate. And then Quentin is a wealth of knowledge, if you haven't figured that out by now.
Yeah.
Who else is still living?
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Let me show you okay, because they don't have a lot of clothes, so this is the closet.
You know, my first thought was to be a big walk-in closet.
Uh-huh. So they
And,
don't have a lot of clothes during this time period, so this would be your closet. Plus, the county would tax you on how many rooms you had, and they would consider a closet a room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the great granddaughter and the great grandson are still living,
Oh, okay.
Richard and Jenny.
and so we have contact with them.
And this is Dr. Muks in his surgeon's outfit, uniform.
Mm-hmm.
He was quite the dapper young man.
Now, Valley Medical Center, was there actually a base, like a medical base thing, whatever? I mean,
Dr. Muks,
In that area?
at the time, he was the first president of the Fresno Madera Medical Association.
it was located where?
It was here in Fresno, and it was over here at the hospital.
Wasn't it the Barnett Sanitarium
Uh-huh.
first? Yeah, it was the Barnett Sanitarium first with Dr. Barnett, and then one of my grandfather,
Uh-huh.
he also helped open up
Yeah,
the
it was-
Barnett San. He was a doctor too, and
Oh,
he helped
wow.
open up.
And then Doc came in shortly later, and they asked him to be part of it, and he did,
Yeah,
because he lived right up the street
yeah,
from it.
and my family had a home down here too. It's no longer here.
Most of the homes that I lived in around here are gone. It's like right on the freeway area, where the freeway runs through now.
Yeah, this is Mary's room. Mary, quite contrary. She also had a sink in her room, just like John had a sink in her room. Due to the issues of modesty, she probably got dressed behind the screen over there. Very much domesticity. We're in the upper class girls, so what are girls gonna play with? Dolls. What are we gonna do? We're gonna cultivate their etiquette skills at a very young age.
Is this a paranormal room? And you know what? I haven't said nothing about anything paranormal till right now, and I'm only saying it for a reason. And I'm asking, is this a paranormal room where most people might think or feel or see or heard or
Could
or
be.
anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
You're
do.
feeling it?
Yeah. I feel a presence in here.
Yeah. Yeah, could be, yeah. So,
Cool.
okay, so this is her room. This is her wedding dress reincarnated. They did find the wedding dress. It was in shambles. They were able to reincarnate it with the original lace and the jewels on it, and they ended up sending it back to New York, and they put it back together again with new material.
Wow.
But the lace and the pearls are original to the time period. These are her wedding shoes here. This is her husband. He's a cad. Dr. MEUX absolutely couldn't stand him. Wasn't going to walk her down the aisle or anything. He thought he was a cad, and he turned out to be one. And anyway, she got married. And then
Wow.
Dr. MEUX built them a home a couple blocks down. He became a congressman, and Mary ended up traveling the world with him. This would be her traveling chest. This is their teddy bear.
Mm.
He needs to kind of sit up,
Yeah. She just.
but he's a little old.
She just drained all my thing too. I'm like, okay, all my stuff's about to die now. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
no.
wow.
No.
That's cool. But wow, that's so cool.
Okay.
I just looking at this.
So here's what, and I know you're about to die.
Not me with the phone.
So this is what a normal waist looks like. This is what a corseted waist looks like. And she's probably in this from the time she gets up until the time she goes to bed. So if you think about Chinese foot binding,
Oh,
okay, we're doing about the same thing to women here during that time period in the upper classes, because it really messes with the internal organs. Okay.
Wow.
And even if she is preggers, she is still wearing the corset.
Wow.
Yeah. There is no relief from it.
Yeah, I guess you think, well, would that be a good thing or a bad thing for the baby?
Yeah. This is a curio cabinet right here. So you can see we got Ann MEUX with her nephew. Ann MEUX is over here. She was the last one to live here. She died here. This is her brother John when they were short. We have other things here, Dr. MEUX's stuff, and then Ann MEUX's travel diary. Yeah.
How many of their family is still alive other than the two in San Francisco? I mean, like
I think that's about it.
No, cousins, aunts, nieces, nephews.
We'll have to ask Quentin. He knows more than I do on that.
Wow.
Yeah. I just started dosing, so I've only been doing this for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months.
How do you like this place?
I like it. I enjoy it. I wouldn't do it otherwise. It's
Yeah, this is wow.
not getting paid for something. Yeah. I like volunteering down here. So this is what, it's called an ensuite. This is Dr. MEUX and Molly's room. So this is kind of what it looks like. Like I said, Gilded Age. Watch it because it is absolutely fabulous, and you'll get an idea of exactly what it looked like during that time period if you're fascinated with that era. And it deals with the big bad robber barons of the time period. You've got the Vanderbilts.
really? Okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
it is fabulous. You can see her dress for the fall over there. This here, it's settee here. We have a little entertainment. Let me see if I can get it to work today. Sometimes I can't. Oh, it doesn't want to play for us today. Sometimes I can get it to work. Let's see. And this is an Edison machine.
Wow. I just
Okay.
heard something back from the past.
Yeah. So that was an Edison invention. Probably it's his lab rats, because Edison just got the patents on all of it. That's a whole nother story.
Wow.
This is the bedroom. Over here is Molly's dressing table. So you can see all the different instruments here. You've got your fingernails. You've got your hooks for the back of your dress, for your
Oh,
shoes.
yes.
You've got little flat iron, your little curly cues for your hair, shoehorn. This is where you would put the hair to save for making the hair art.
Yeah.
Here, these are your hat pins. Here, if you're living in the big cities, hat pins are a great weapon to thwart off anybody who might hurt you.
And that's your doorbell.
I know. We're gonna hope Quentin hears
Okay. Now I know what it sounds like.
it. Yeah. Quentin. Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
That's Anne's room.
Check this out, you guys. All right, you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna be doing this one night. You guys are gonna come out here, do this place at night. Friday, not this Friday, but in a few Fridays. Come out here, do a paranormal investigation for another couple hours. So stay tuned, you guys. This is a daytime version, part 1. Part 2 is gonna be at night. So I'll get back with you guys once I give you another update on this place. All right, you guys? I'm headed down. My phone, everything's about to die. It's drained. So, anyways, you guys. All right. Peace out to my next one. All right. See you guys soon.